All right, we are back with another tier list going into season 22. I did a Legends tier list. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll link it down below. But we are ranking the weapons going into it now. Just right off the rip, all the care package weapons are in considered S tier. I'm not going to rank them. It's just they're all S tier guns. Besides that, there's been some meta changes. Shotguns got buffed. LMGs got buffed. They got a new hop up. Some guns got nerfed. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off with the 30-30 repeater. Now it's taken some hits, honestly, the last few seasons, but it's been a top tier gun for a while now. It's very annoying when you're playing, like, I would say platinum and above lobbies. You start to notice the 30-30, the G7 Scouts, the snipers just crossing fields, and like people like to in those top tier ranks, either you get streamers, pro players that just run the whole lobby, or you have 15 teams with zone 3. Like it's either or type of thing. So 30-30, I'm glad to see it's a little bit nerfed, but it is still a very significantly good weapon. I would not put it A tier. I'm gonna go with the solid B tier. Now the alternator actually got a pretty significant nerf this season, in the sense that the disruptors do not go on it anymore. Or I think the disruptor, let me see. Yeah, I just had to like check that real quick. The disruptor rounds are completely out of the game. It's just hammer points now, and that's gonna go on a couple guns that are top tier guns. We'll talk about that later. But yes, the disruptor rounds are completely out of the game now. It got changed for the new hop up for the LMGs with the shield, so that took a significant nerf. They did try to upgrade the ammo stack and just the ammo, how much ammo goes in the gun now, but the gun's gonna be an incredible gun off rip. Like if you land on a gun and you pick up an alternator, you could do some serious damage. But if you're using that as your main secondary weapon throughout the entire game, there's so many better guns in the game. And so for that reason, it's going C tier. Now, like I said, I'm going to discredit all the care package weapons. So second, going into the car is actually a very, very viable weapon. It got an ammo increase as well. I like the fact that this gun could use it could use both ammo capacities. It could use both heavy mag and light mag. And the gun's actually pretty significantly easy to control on the recoil. The damage is pretty good as well. I wouldn't consider it a top tier weapon, but for people who like to run the weapon, due to the fact that the viability of heavy and light and all that stuff, it's a lot better than the alternator, I will say that. So for that reason, I'm gonna go B tier. Now the charge rifle. Whew, that gun. Oh, I'm so glad it got nerfed to the ground pretty much in the state that it is in now, because that gun was so annoying to deal with. I'm mainly a ranked player. I don't like to play pubs too often. And once you kind of hit gold slash platinum, especially like a few seasons back, the charge rifle was the most annoying gun to come up across. You just cross in a field and next thing you know, charge rifle's hitting you. So the gun's pretty much nerfed to the ground. I personally think that they should just honestly get rid of the gun. It's an interesting gun that they have to kind of like tweak with and try to get back. It's not good now. It's in a really bad state where it's at right now. For that reason, it's going C. Now the Eva just got out of the care package. It now has the boosted loader hop up, which is cool, I guess. I mean, it's timed. I think it's like what, 2 bullets or less. And if you reload it within 2 or 1 bullets, you get an extra 2 bullets back in the reload, and it's a faster reload. All that stuff. Cool. It doesn't make the gun any better that it has a hop up on it, but the shotguns in general have all gotten a buff this season with the pellet spread, and just the fact that there's less pellets, but each pellet does more damage. I have used the Eva a lot this season due to the fact of like the new game mode is so hectic, and the Eva it's up there for me, and I prefer using the Eva over the Peacekeeper this season. It's really good. I think the Eva's always been a really good gun. For that reason, it's going A tier. Now the Flatline, whew, my favorite gun used in the entire game. I'm biased. I know that. If it was my personal self, I'd put it S tier, but I have to take away the biased opinion. Be realistic. It's not an S tier weapon. I know that. It's my favorite gun to use though. Flatline, for sure. One of the hardest hitters if you could understand the recoil control, which I've used the gun the most in the game, so I understand the recoil control. That's why I love it so much. It beams. It hits harder than pretty much most any gun, except maybe the Havoc, in the sense of like damage per like second. But it's a very good gun, first and foremost. For that, I can't really go too much into detail because I don't know like all the statistics on everything about the damage per second, blah blah blah. But Significantly no. I'm picking up a Flatline. I'm loving it. Last season I dropped it for a Hemlock. Now this season the Hemlock did get nerfed. Not a significant nerf, but it did get nerfed. And for that reason I have been going with the Flatline and a shotgun combination. So for that, Flatline, A tier. G7 Scout. Okay, G7. This gun actually got a nerf, or no, it got a buff last season. I don't think anything really has changed about it this season. But the gun is always a top tier gun. It was in the care package for a little bit. It was out of the gun. It got the rotation for a little bit. If you are a person who likes to kind of like camp it out, play zone, this is like the perfect gun for you. This or the Hemlock or just any like burst gun in the sense where you can kind of like poke out, do some damage. And the gun actually has a significantly good hip fire rate. So let's say you're running this with a Flatline or something. You can swap this gun and you may be able to kill the person due to the fact that the hip fire is really good. Would I put it A tier though? Honestly, yes, I would. It's gotten some pretty big buffs. I think the damage went up 1 last season, and honestly, it was a pretty noticeable difference. Now, starting off with our first S tier gun, even with the recent nerfs, even with everything, and I talked about this in a previous short that I just dropped on YouTube not too long ago, but the reason that the Havoc is as good as it is, it's not because it needs any nerfing or anything about that. It's the fact that they have nerfed the 301, they have nerfed the L-Star, they've nerfed the Flatline, they've nerfed every gun so much. The Havoc hasn't changed at all since like season 10, maybe 9. Like it hasn't changed in like 2 years, and yet it's the best gun in the game all of a sudden. So I think people got to understand like the Havoc doesn't need a nerf. I mean, I guess you can nerf it and make it every gun like around the same, but in my opinion, like it's nice when guns kill fast in a game that doesn't kill fast. Essentially, that's a hot take, but I just think that guns need to be buffed more, and we should have more of a pick the gun that you actually like and it actually be viable, because the last few seasons it's been Hemlock, Havoc, and like Volt. Those are like the guns you want to use. Like no one wants to use anything else, and it's annoying. So Havoc S tier weapon, they've nerfed it. They dropped every mag by 4. They reduced the hip fire this season. Still an S tier weapon. It's ridiculous how good it is. And with along that being another S tier weapon, I'm gonna go with the Hemlock. The Hemlock is still, even with the recent nerf, which was I think one bullet in a mag, and just the fact that how fast you get shoot it went down. Those are the only 2 things that went. Honestly, it's not the biggest noticeable difference. There's times where I do notice it's from time to time, but that's about it. Hemlock is still top tier weapon if I'm really, really trying to rank up. Like if I'm playing ranked, I'm really trying my little booty off. I'm gonna go Hemlock, Havoc. It is what it is. This is the 2 top tier guns. It's just it sucks that that's just the way that it is, but it is. And yeah. Now the L-Star actually, in my opinion, is the best LMG. Spoiler alert. It's just the best LMG. It's got the hop up now. If you get a, this is the fact that you don't have to reload the gun. Obviously, if you overheat it, you have to reload it. But I don't know. This is the top tier gun. All LMGs got a hip fire improvement in the fact that like it kind of like if you've noticed that when you hip fire the gun, it like shrinks, and the shield. If you aim in the shield, you get like a little baby shield. Any energy gun in this game is incredibly good. Any energy gun, not even joking. Every single one is good. That's why they lowered the energy cap per, I think it's to now 54 instead of 60. So you can't carry as much energy ammo, and it's actually harder to find energy ammo on the ground now. They reduced the loot on that. So if I'm running any LMG, if I find that hop, if I want to run any LMG, it is going to be the L-Star. It's a really good gun. If you haven't used it in recent times, go ahead and pick it up. Try the new hop up. You're gonna have a good time with that one. The longbow, the weakest, second weakest sniper in the game. Charge rifle is pretty bad. Like you have to like really understand that gun to use it. I'm gonna just right off the rip go C tier. There's just every gun for range that I will talk about going forward pretty much outclass it, except the charge rifle. Like these 2 snipers, a lot of triple take, sentinel, G7 Scout, repeater. All these guns outclass it. There's not much really to say about it. It's just not. If you want to take range, there's other guns for it. The Mastiff. Whew. I'm not even joking when I say this, man. something about this gun this season with the pellet spread seems like an S tier weapon. It really seems like an S tier weapon. Now I can't put it S tier due to the fact that the Mozambiques or past that are better and significantly a lot better if you know how to use them correctly, because it's a different spread. It's a little harder to use. You could a little bit kind of aim in with them. It's like a hip fire aim. It's weird, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to put them A tier. I would not disagree that they're S tier. The Mastiffs are really that good this season. If you haven't tried them out, pick it up. If you hit your shots, you're going to realize you're hitting a lot more consistent 90s, and how fast they shoot, or how fast it shoots, I should say, it's a very, very good weapon. Now, when I talk about the Mozambiques and the P2020s going forward, the Mozambiques, both these are going to be considered for Kimbos. They could both take hammer points, so flash damage is going to be significantly nice with them. I guess it's going to pretty much, like, I have a handful of times pretty much 4-tapped kids with the Mozambiques. And a 4-tap is pop, 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 and they're dead. And I'm like, dude, this gun isn't real. It should not be ground loot type of thing. But here we are. I'm pretty sure they will be somewhat nerfed going into next split. I would be surprised if they wouldn't, but at the same time, it is respawn, and they take a while to make any changes. So maybe they won't be. And for that, for now, they are complete in 100% S tier. You could consider them the best secondary weapon in the entire game. And some people, including myself, have used them as a main weapon. Like, they have range to them. It's ridiculous. Now, the Nemesis, people can argue the Nemesis is better than the Hemlock. Dude, this is a hard one, because the Nemesis is really, really good when it winds up, but it takes like 3 to 4 bursts to get fully winded up. But when you really have that thing winded up, I think like 3 bursts anyone, if you hit your shots. I don't know, man. Hemlock is really good. Havoc is, dude, like, oh, this is a tough one. More tough than the Mastiff, in my opinion, because I really think that the Nemesis is that good. I just don't want that many weapons S tier, because S tier means like must pickups, and I truly think all 3 of these, if you find them on the ground, are must pickups. And if I have a Hemlock, I'm not trading it for a Nemesis personally. Now, it's just personal preference. So for that reason, I'm going to keep it A tier. But this gun is incredible. If you see Nemesis first, or if that's just your gun of choice due to the fact that like it speeds up as the more you shoot, pick it up. It's a great gun. You're not going to go wrong with either one of these guns. P2020s. At first, when I got on this game, I thought the P2020s were better than the Mastiffs, because it was easier to hit my shots with them due to the fact that the fire rate was faster and the spread just seemed closer, in my opinion. But once I got used to the Mastiffs and understood how to use the gun akimboed, it's ridiculous how good this gun is. I mean, if you look at any scrims, if you're watching any competitive scene, there's a reason why every pro is picking up these Mozambiques. You're at a disadvantage if you don't, going up against someone who does. You could literally get 3 or 4 tapped. I think you could get 3 tapped with like purple shield. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. So for that, Mozambique's there. But P2020s akimboed, I would, yeah. Again, must pick up, must pick up. Very, very good though. Very, very good. Now the Peacekeeper, as weird as this is to say, I think it is technically the worst shotgun in the season. Still think it's A tier. I really do. I think the Peacekeeper is incredible when you hit your shots, but I'm not even joking. For some reason, it seems like it's shooting slower this season. It may be placebo effect, but I asked a friend and they felt the same way. And I didn't get him any context or nothing. I just said, hey, do you think the Peacekeeper shoots a little slower this season? He's that person that reads 0 patch notes, doesn't care about the game in any way, just hops on the game, has fun, and gets off. He doesn't care. He doesn't watch any competitive scene. He doesn't watch any videos or nothing like that. He's just a person who gets on and gets off. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's my favorite gun. If for some reason it feels slower. I don't know if it's something that just wasn't the patch notes, but it feels slower. And you get hit for, I think, 110 with it, but you get hit for a 90 with the Mastiff. And this thing shoots like nearly double the speed. So Peacekeeper is so incredibly good. It's it used to be my favorite shotgun in the game. Due to the fact that it felt so cool to hit. But yeah, I don't know. Something about it this season. It's not hidden. I realize I have a lot of guns in A tier, and I'm gonna add another one right now. But from the looks of it, it might be for first time in a while. But the the Prowler, I was gonna call it the P90. Oh my gosh, the Prowler. The Prowler is, whew. I recently switched back to M&K after being on controller for a while, and this gun was broken on the controller. This gun is still absolutely broken on M&K. Like the hip fire, even without any laser sight, is ridiculously good. You hit like consistent 70s with it, just a pra pra pra, and they're dead. I'm like, dude, what just happened to that person? They just got obliterated. S tier though, absolutely not. It's a very very good secondary. If you like burst guns, if you're good with controlling the gun, oh my gosh, incredible. Now, the first gun I ever fell in love with in the game, the R301, my gun that I have the most kills with in the game. And the Flatline's actually catching up, so. But the R301, I think everyone hates the fact that this gun just isn't as good as it used to be. They tanked it, I think, like 3-4 seasons ago, and it got a somewhat of a buff to the fact that the mag size went up on it, and the fact that it's easier to find light ammo than any other gun or any other ammo capacity in the game. But I don't know, man. The 301 is still the most accurate gun in the game, but it just doesn't hit. And when they're up close and you have to like hip fire, bro, it feels like any other game, any other gun outguns you literally than the R301. It's, I don't know, something about it. It's just the damage output is just not as strong as it used to be. The accuracy is very nice. If you're someone who has a hard time controlling any other assault rifle gun in the game, pick up an R301 because it's better to hit your shots and have a lower damage output than to not hit your shots and have a higher damage output. Personally though, it pains me to say this, but the R301 is a B tier weapon. Now, a weapon that needs a grenade to make it viable. The Rampage is actually, I've had moments where I'm like, wow, this gun's really good with no thermite, but when you put a thermite on and you're like far range, close range, whoo-wee, arguably S tier. Like this gun's broken, and the fact that it could, like, if someone's door camping you and you have this thermite already pop before the fight and they don't know it, you could break their door down and get a free kill. Like this gun is really really good. But for the fact that it needs a thermite to be really really good makes it a B tier weapon to me. Now, another gun that needs a hop up to be a decent gun. The thing is, some people love this gun, some people hate this gun. I'm whatever about the RE45. The fact that it needs a hop up, the fact that it has a low magazine size, the fact that it shoots very very fast. So if you miss 20% of your shots, you barely crack their shield. I don't know, man. RE45, I don't even know if it's B tier, man. Now, getting this gun off the rip, early game, you both land on a pill. You get the gun, you could pretty much down this guy in one clip, being white shield, and the fact that it's got a high magazine size and they're so close to you. But besides that, I'm not running this gun at any point of the game. After that, like I see a P2020, I'm most likely picking that up after, type of thing. I don't know. Something about the RE45 does not hit for me. It's, yeah, I've had many moments where I just absolutely one clip a guy, but that's mainly just right off rip, off drop. Yeah, pretty much it. Now the Sentinel, a gun that is being used widely now that I've noticed. Nothing has really changed about the gun. I just, like I said, I think that just other guns have gotten nerfed, like the 3030, like the G7. That the Sentinel just kind of has been used more now. A tier though, you have to pop a cell to make it decent. I don't know, the Sentinel could, like, if you're hitting your shots, man, it's a mini Kraber. That's the thing. Now I'm gonna have to go A tier. Because more times than not, you're having cells on you. It only takes one cell now instead of two. I think it was two before, if I'm not mistaken, like a few seasons ago. Either way, I'm sticking with A. I'm gonna say it's a solid A. For sure, it's a solid A. I don't know if it's B tier. Like, it's better than the 3030. Like I said, I might readjust all this in soon at the end. I might readjust it, we'll see. Spitfire, again, you got a buff in the fact that the LMGs, I mean, the light ammo is easier to carry, easier to find with the hop up and everything, but the damage output is just okay on it. I used to love this gun season 7 through 10. Incredible gun. It's been in the game since launch. Gun was incredible. In the beginning, it just got overshadowed by a lot of other guns like the 301. But yeah, this gun used to be a hard hitter, and then when they switched from heavy ammo to light ammo, the thing just didn't hit it, which is weird because I don't think ammo really changes a gun like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know the wiki like that. But something about when it went to light ammo, it just didn't feel the same. Now the triple take. The triple take, whew, I have been absolutely obliterated by a triple take crossing a field before. And I have myself been obliterating other people with a triple take. But something about the fact that you have to wait for it to charge up to really get that nice like 70, 80 hit. The fact that like if you try to shoot it too fast, you're gonna start hitting those 13s, those 14s with it. But also for the fact that it could kind of turn into like a little shotgun if you don't like as a secondary type of thing. I don't know. Some people I know beloved and love the triple take. Other people I know are like on the fence about it. Am I taking it over Sentinel? No. For long range, no, absolutely not. For G7, I'm not taking over that. Would I rather have a Nemesis for close range over G7? Yes. So for that reason, I'm going B tier. Now the Volt. Oh, I love this gun, man. This gun's incredible. The Volt, top tier weapon. Love it to death. I've always loved this gun. Ever since it came out, I was super sad when it went to the care package. I think in season 16, question mark, maybe 17, it went to the care package for like 2 seasons, and I was like heartbroken about that. Yeah, this gun's great. I think it's literally a mini Havoc. The fact that it's like a mini Havoc that has a turbo on it. You don't have to wait for the charge up. Obviously the ammo capacity is a little bit lower. The fire rate's a little bit slower, but whew, the Volt's really good. I'm gonna go with A tier on this one, and the A tier just got fat. Now the last gun, the Wingman, it has been through the ringer since the game is launched. If you have played this game since season 1, whew, if you haven't played the game, go watch some clips, man. The gun shot so fast. It took sniper ammo. It had the skull piercer on it. There was so much to this gun that, like, and it was very broken, but at the same time, it took skill to use. And people just preferred having an SMG close range over others. But if you were a natural good aimer, the Wingman was broken in so many ways. But now it's just got the boosted loader, and you can't put any mag on it. It takes sniper ammo, and you can't carry that much sniper ammo. There's so many times where I picked it up and it's only 6 shots and you have to reload. I don't know, man. There's so many better guns out there, but I don't think it's C tier. I'm gonna go with B tier. After looking through everything, these are in no particular order, but I'm just gonna drop this down to B tier. After looking at everything, taking a quick glance at it, obviously these are all S tier, all care package weapons. These 3 are the must pickups if you find them on the ground. Mozambiques have to be akimboed. Havoc is just broken in every way department. Hemlock is still absolutely broken. If you want to choose the Nemesis over the Hemlock, go for it. It's pretty much just as good in my opinion. It just takes the wind up to make it a little bit better. Yeah, I think this is the tier list. Well, that wraps up for the tier list. If you disagree with any of them, I completely understand. This is again my personal opinion tier list. If you're new here, I would appreciate your subscription. Give it a like. All that does make a difference for me, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.